What is up, you guys? My name is Nick, and welcome to my channel where I cover all things entertainment. Whatever you're watching, I'm making videos about. She Dies Tomorrow is a horror drama from writer-director Amy Seimetz, and in it, Lyn Sheil plays a woman named Amy who strongly believes, like with the power of 1,000 monks, that she is going to die the following day. At first, it feels like just one stressed-out character's self-involved BS, but then people around Amy begin to believe the same ridiculous notion that they are going to die tomorrow. This paranoia spreads like syphilis at Palm Springs, signaling a greater conflict on the horizon. Mass hysteria is such an interesting concept to me, and that opens the door in this movie to talk about what would you do with your last day on Earth? Like, if you knew you were going to die, what would you do with your time? Do you profess your love to someone? Do you rob a convenience store? Do you drink way too many margaritas and like a picture on your ex's Instagram from 3 years ago? Well, in the case of She Dies Tomorrow, homegirl rides a dune buggy. Talk about balling on a budget. You could connect this movie with our current situation, this rapidly spreading fear of death mirroring a virus, but that would be straight up projecting because this movie was made before the pandemic, so it really doesn't even have that going for it. Let me just break down She Dies Tomorrow for you. Let me just break it down. It'll only take a second. It starts out with a woman getting drunk at her home for 20 minutes, which is how you start everything. And then she meets up with a friend and is like, yo, I'm gonna bite it tomorrow. And then that woman goes up to some other people and she's like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. And then those people are like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, but tomorrow. The most interesting aspect of this film comes from a couple that is introduced about halfway through the movie, and their whole scenario takes up maybe 2 minutes of screen time. But listen, this is mumblecore. If you're unfamiliar with mumblecore, it's essentially a genre that exists because filmmakers want to make stuff, but they have like zero money, so they cook up a script with minimal characters generally set in one setting, and it's really just about people sitting around having conversations like, I made this coffee, but the Keurig had too many buttons, and then it tasted really plasticky. And there probably is some actual plot point, like there's a serial killer outside, or one of the characters has cancer, or there's a tidal wave that's gonna wipe them all out. But make no mistake, the focus is on the plasticky coffee conversations. Listen, I have no problem with mumblecore, and if that's your thing, then you'll probably enjoy this movie. Good for you. And if there are people out there that like this movie, well, that gives me faith that maybe I could even be a filmmaker. Because I get it. Like, from a filmmaking standpoint, it's like, I understand. You want to be able to take limited resources and make something out of it. That's interesting on one hand, and as a filmmaker, I can fully see that Amy Seimetz accomplished what she set out to do. Good for her, that's great, I'm so happy for her. But I also am here to tell you what I think is going to be entertaining, and I can tell you without a doubt, this movie will put some of you to sleep. It's just not that interesting. My biggest problem with She Dies Tomorrow was just that it never felt alive to me. I never felt like I was in it with the characters. I never felt like I was going along the journey with them. It kind of just felt like I was looking in on a situation, which sure is, you know, kind of how film works. I get that. But it's a little hard to become invested in the film when you're really not that interested in the characters or what's happening on screen. Again, it's perfectly fine. I know that it's just simply not for me, and that's perfectly okay. This feels like this is the analogy that I've come up for this. It's like in high school seeing some nerdy little shit win the science fair that you were never in your life going to enter, but you're like, you know what? Good for you, science fair kid. I'm gonna go smoke some weed behind a dumpster. I'm gonna give She Dies Tomorrow a 2.5 out of 5. It is well acted and well shot, but the surreal nature of the film just really doesn't add up to anything for me personally. Let me know what you guys thought about She Dies Tomorrow in the comments below. Is this your thing? Is it not your thing? I mean, it got my $7, so you win, She Dies Tomorrow. You win. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it as always. Feel free to give me a like, subscribe, all the things. Well, guys, that is it for this video, but I won't stop you from watching another.